Hello, Internet! Shouth is here, and it's time for another episode of Arena Time here on ShoutStone. We are following Trump as he makes his run through the arena, hoping for our first 12-win run. But without any further ado, let's get to the action right now. It is Jaina versus Jaina. Trump playing the part of Jaina the Mage on the bottom, and Magarion playing the part of Jaina on the top. So, you want mirror matches? Well, how about more mirror matches? That's right, another Mage on Mage match after a previous Mage on Mage match. I'm thinking mages are fairly popular in the arena, even still. They do have quite the formidable card option, at least when you get them as an option to choose from, but still. Do they last very long? I guess that's the real question. Trump right now only 2-0 in this arena run so far, so he is facing off against another 2-0 mage. Amani Berserker coming out onto the field, a card often confused with Gurubashi Berserker in terms of its functionality. But I've said that many times in the past. But you know, I do tend to repeat myself a lot on this show, but the reason being is that I treat every episode like it might be somebody's first. So if I try to pass along information, I try to keep it pretty consistent. But the biggest thing is, as you know, the Gurubashi Berserker has a, I want to say it's like a multiplying enrage, where every time it takes damage, it gains another stack of its enrage. Whereas the Amani Berserker has one enrage trigger, and that's it. So, alright, it's going to get pinged down to 1 hit point. As you can see right there, it didn't get any more additional damage, any additional attack power. It's just going to be staying at 5 until it dies. And already doing some sizable damage to Trump with that Berserker. But it's still fairly early. So we'll have to see how Trump wants to respond. Now, he's going to do a quick minion trade because he knows he needs to get rid of that minion, take out the Young Priestess with his Fire Blast, excuse me, and plays a Razorfen Raptor. So he does take a sizable chunk of damage early in the game here, which does cut down on his ability to really use his health as a big resource going forward. But it's still very early, and even 11 hit points is not enough to tilt the tide of a game, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, we are entering the 5-drop turn at this point. Chillwind Yeti, a great minion to play against priest players, because neither of the shadow words can take it out. It hits that beautiful sweet spot. Alright, so between the Raptor and that Fire Blast, he does manage to get rid of the Yeti right away, because he knows how dangerous that minion can be. And he gets his Shattered Sun Cleric out there. Silverhand Knight coming into play. There's Squire. Okay, so now it's for options. He does have that Frost Elemental, which looks like he is going to be putting into play to take out the... or, no, actually he's going to change his mind. Or no, he's going to go with that. But what is he going to freeze? Yeah, he is going to freeze the Squire. Leave the Silverhand Knight up in the open. So, my apologies there. Alright. So he does use that, his ping and his Silverhand Knight to take out that Frost Elemental. And here's another Amani Berserker into play. As well as a Worgen Infiltrator. Cone of Cold. Now that could be a good play. That would take out, I think that would take out that Infiltrator. And it would freeze everything else out. So that might be a decent play here to kind of keep everything locked down. There's no taunt on the field, so he can still attack around everything. But that is a reasonable play. He can't take out the Infiltrator with his Fire Blast because it's still stealthed, and it can't be directly targeted, but if he targets the Squire, he gets that spread. That's precisely what he's going to do. And it does freeze the Amani Berserker as well, but he's just going to take it out because he does not want that in play. And he will put a secret into play. So now, that poor Squire, all alone, freezing cold still. He's going to recall it back to his hand with a Youthful Brewmaster. And that will trigger the secret mirror entity. And a Pandaren Brewmaster, or a Brewmaster for Trump's own. And another Silverhand Knight. And another Squire. How about more Squires? Well, he's got a Frostbolt now, so we can still do a little bit of control. Is sitting on a Polymorph as well. Alright. Now he could take out that, Knight, if he wanted to, by tackling in with the Brewmaster and then pinging it off with Fire Blast. But he wants to get a few spell cards. So he's got the Injured Blade Master and that Arcane Missiles. He's going to be playing the Arcane Golem instead. Taking out the big guy. And looks like it's going to be a Pandaren Brewmaster trade right now. Quick ping on the Squire, and we are moving forward. Up to the 9-drop at this point. And there's the other Squire. Pack out. And just a quick Fire Blast. And a couple extra points of damage. So, as you can see, like I said, Trump held on to 19 hit points for a really long time there. Because of other control, you know, he was getting minions out there and trying to assert board presence. So right now there's a 10-point difference in this matchup. But, again, that's not a huge concern. So here comes Arcane Missiles, hoping for the one that will take that Squire out, and it does. So, good. He does manage to clear one minion to a couple points of damage. We'll play another Mirror Entity, Injured Blade Master. And Frostbolt. Ba-boom! Field is clear. Injured Blade Master on the side for Trump. Mirror Entity card in play. What will our Mage player, or our Mage opponent, throw down? So while we're waiting on that, I hope you have all signed up, or are signing up, for the ShoutStone subscriber tournament. Remember, you have till February 11th. I'll be linking to that video where you can hear more of the details and sign up for it. And I will also be linking to the latest episode of Games in 60 Seconds. Broken Age. Came out today. Alright, so a quick ping on that Injured Blade Master, and the turn has been passed. Not playing any minions. I think he suspects another Mirror Entity, which is good. If he can restrict his opponent from playing anything because of what the opponent thinks is going to be there, then that could be good. I think he might be waiting for a cheaper minion to bait it out. But that gives Trump a little bit of extra time, and now look at the health totals. We're only three difference apart, so, you know, big deal. That early rush, while nice, did not really seem to do much. Mind Control Tech, and it will trigger the secret, which gives another Mind Control Tech for Trump. And a Flame Strike. Oh, the devastation of Flame Strike. But a Fireball, Chillwind Yeti, and a Fire Blast Ping to respond, saying, screw you and your Fire Blast and your Flame Strike. I still have cards. And Trump now in a bit of a risky position as far as card draw goes. His hand is really light. He's only got that Polymorph in there. Boulder Fist Ogre, and he's going to Polymorph the Chillwind Yeti, but not take it out. Well, here comes the Polymorph for his opponent, and Trump will take it out, because Trump knows that you never leave a minion alive any longer than you have to, even if it is just a sheep. I mean, he might not have had anything to take it out with, but, you know, that's something you gotta consider. A lot of people, I mean, you know, people traditionally play that way. It's become kind of a running gag that Polymorph is basically a 6-cost card, and not 4, because you just ping it off with Fire Blast. Here comes the Molten Giant. He's going to play Cone of Cold, which should clear the field. Well, not clear the field, it will lock down that raid leader. Argent Commander now in top draw. Trump is going to be in a difficult position. Facing off against that Molten Giant. Doesn't really have anything good to respond to it with. But he's going to ping it off, play that Argent Commander. It will have Divine Shield, so he could get a free strike on that Molten Giant. But no, he is going to focus fire on the... Is he? Yes, he will. He'll focus fire on the hero. So we're in a bit of a rush state now. It's kind of a race to see who can win, but I think... Alright, here comes a flesh-eating ghoul. I don't know what we're going to get here. Another flame strike. But another polymorph for Trump. He could burn it on that Molten Giant, but he does know that if he kills it off, it's going to get another buff up for that flesh-eating ghoul. This is why top draw is such a difficult spot to be in, because, you know, on turns like this, all you get is a spell, and yeah, it's a nice defensive spell, but he's still sitting on the back foot here. Will he kill it, though? Because now, while it's so traditional to kill off that sheep once you polymorph it, it's risky now because of that flesh-eating ghoul, and he doesn't have anything to respond to it with, so he'll basically be buffing that up to a 5-3 with no way to answer. No, he's going to ping the flesh-eating ghoul instead, so he's going to risk leaving it up there and hope that there's no buffing cards. I mean, it's especially risky when you do it against like a paladin who can hit it with a Blessing of Kings or something like that. But, oh, he's going to kill his own sheep to buff up the flesh-eating ghoul. And a Lord of the Arena, so it's not looking good for Trump here. Yeah, he does not have anything to respond to that, so he will have to concede this matchup. Third game in, and he's already down a game. It's a long road ahead. But yeah, that was just a well-played game. He got stuck in a top draw state, and it always gets tough to get out of that once you're in that condition, basically. But he played pretty well. He tried to hang in there, but unfortunately it was too little, too late, and Trump will end up going down 2-1 in this arena run. But we'll be back Friday with another arena time. We'll be back on Wednesday with the next episode of ShoutStone. But don't forget, here are the links. Tournament video on the left there. Click that link to find out about our upcoming tournament, how you can sign up, what the rules are, and how it's going to work. Also, don't forget to check out the latest episode of Games in 60 Seconds. We covered Broken Age, the brand new game from Double Fine, which you cannot buy until the 28th, but thanks to the fine folks at Double Fine, I did manage to cover it a bit. So, anyway, that is going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you folks next time.